You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we got a couple of things, both involving Aaron Rodgers and one involving Russell Wilson, but all of it involving the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback situation. Of course, Russell Wilson, now the Giants situation. Now he's the Giants' problem. After the Broncos and Sean Payton could not wait to drop kick Russell Wilson's ass out of Denver, the Steelers signed him, brought it in. Looked like it might have been the right thing, but by the time you got to the end of the season, you were asking, well, should you be going back to Justin Fields right now? He's younger. He's got probably a stronger arm at this point, and because Justin Fields has a hell of an arm, so does Russell Wilson, but you get my point. I mean, one's 26 and the other's 36, I guess, 35, 36. And Justin Fields at this point is a lot more mobile. Number one, and we also got fans that have noticed something weird about Aaron Rodgers. All right? And from his Steelers profile picture, we're going to look at that. Ben Roethlisberger talks about Russell Wilson and why he wasn't given the freedom to audible and to improvise, which he was not. He was not allowed to do that with the Steelers. Arthur Smith and Mike Tomlin said, hell to the no. I don't want you bleeping up our plays. And he also offers his opinion, I'm talking about Roethlisberger, on potentially how long this thing's going to last with Rodgers. I still think the Achilles tear really jacked everything up for Aaron Rodgers and sort of this last run piece of his legacy. So right here, we all know he signed a couple of weeks ago, blah, 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 what it was for, how much it was for. It was about $13.5 million. He can earn another $6 million, basically. If he wins the Super Bowl, he can get shy under $20 million if he wins the Super Bowl. So he posed in the team's famous black and gold jersey as he captured his official team portrait, which the Steelers shared on social media. However, NFL fans quickly noticed something very unusual about Rodgers' left eye in the snap. Right here, I noticed it right away too. All right, as soon as I saw this picture, I was like, what's going on there? I mean, at first, I got to be honest with you, I was like, has he got a glass eye in? What are we doing here? Is that a glass eye? Bro, why is one eye drifting off to the side? One person brought up. A lot of people, what's wrong with his eye? Question mark. That one eye looks like it's been knocked loose a few times. While another one simply put, this is odd. Now, I did not know this. I didn't remember this. Back in 2016, Rodgers admitted he once lost vision in his left eye after suffering a concussion early on in his Green Bay Packers career. That's nuts. I mean, you would think that would possibly mess with some of his depth perception. Peripheral vision, a rusher coming around this side, gets behind him, he can't see. Yikes. I had a bizarre metallic. One eye went metallic. How, metallic? He said in an interview with Bill Simmons on Any Given Wednesday, God, that has been a long time. I could only see out of my right eye. I got hit. We were playing Washington. I got hit by like 3 guys on a blitz. London Fletcher, the great London Fletcher, knocked the shit out of me. London Fletcher came around, and he was one of 3 guys that kind of hit me. Side of the head. So, yeah, it went out. It was just metallic. It was like a silver metallic in the left side. It is unclear if that concussion has had a lasting impact on Rodgers' left eye and caused the unusual detail fans spotted in his Steelers photo. That is nuts, folks. That is wild. That is really wild. I did not know that. As soon as I started reading the article and saw the picture, I was like, shit, is that a fake eye? Is that what? Or is it just like a dead eye? You ever heard of a dead tooth? Aaron Rodgers got a dead eye. Jesus. Steelers fans are like, this just keeps getting better. So, let's get to Roethlisberger on Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. It's pretty wild, man. It is. During an episode of his Footballin' with Ben Roethlisberger podcast, I got to add this to my podcast list. Quote, I don't think he's got much more after this year, talking about Rodgers. I think this might be it for him. Personally, you could ask, how do I know? I don't know. I'm just guessing. In terms of you're coming off an Achilles, coming off an elbow, my first year back, I felt like I was 100%. I wasn't even close. You don't realize that you're not 100% until the next year when you are 100%. Okay, so Ben Roethlisberger actually makes my point I've been trying to make, that Aaron Rodgers is going to be better this year than he was last year, because last year he really wasn't 100% after the Achilles, but he will be this year. And we've seen that in the past. Guy gets Achilles injury, he comes back, yeah, he plays pretty well or fairly well, and then he takes another step that second year. That's why I think this could actually do something for the Steelers. Quote, he's going to feel better, but it doesn't mean that he's going to have 2 or 3 years left. I think this might be his last go. Well, and we also don't know what is the marriage part of this. Has he told her, I'm only going to play this year because I want to play with Mike Tomlin? He loves Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin loves him. This is one of the most interesting stories in all of football. It's going to be. Either it's a train wreck or all of a sudden we look up and the Steelers and Rodgers is taking the Steelers on a run. I said, wouldn't it be nuts if he throws 40 touchdowns? So this is them talking about Russell Wilson and the Pittsburgh Steelers, Arthur Smith, Mike Tomlin, not giving Russell Wilson the clearance to change plays and audible. And Ben Roethlisberger has a theory as to why. A couple of theories.
I would say, too, I totally agree. I would say 2 other potential reasons for that question. And I don't know this. I'm just saying it from my perspective, thoughts. Ego. We talked about that on the show. Quarterbacks have egos. Coordinators have egos. There's no doubt about it. It's how can you temper those egos in terms of working together. Maybe, again, it doesn't mean in this situation. I'm just saying it can happen. A coordinator has an ego and he goes, no, I study. I know what's doing. When I call a play, you run it because I know what's best for this team.
Sure.
That's an option. The other option is, kind of going along with what you said, is there's not enough trust. Maybe they don't trust him to have to run it. And some of that too, though, is, again, it's going to go back to something I said earlier. When you have a relationship with a coordinator and you trust each other and you know each other, he's going to trust that if I do change a play or audible or do something, I'm going to change it to a play that he might be like, okay, that might have been a play I would have called here too. Like,
okay, so 2 very interesting terms, ego and trust. Now, we all know about Mr. Unlimited and his ego. Again, Sean Payton couldn't wait to get him the hell out. Look, he had teammates in Denver that couldn't stand him. And I think that's going to make things very interesting in New York. And he's going to be out there, him and his wife in the limelight and all that. And New York fans, they may be ready to drop kick his ass the hell out too by the time this is said and done. And trust. They didn't trust him to be able to run the plays, which is exactly a problem Sean Payton had. Sean Payton, we just saw Bo Nix, a rookie, run Sean Payton's timing and rhythm offense that he ran with Drew Brees for years. Bo Nix ran it just fine. Russell Wilson, at a Super Bowl winning quarterback, a Pro Bowl quarterback that been to the Pro Bowl many times, what looked like a surefire Hall of Famer if he doesn't burn his career down at the end, could not run Sean Payton's offense because he could not throw under timing and rhythm, and frankly, he's short. And he couldn't a lot of times see around linemen. I mean, I believe Drew Brees was actually taller than Russell Wilson. So, not by much, maybe an inch. I think Drew was actually like 6 and some change, maybe 6'1", and Russell's like 5'11" and some change, or 5'11", period. But he has trouble seeing he's got to move around his linemen and everything to throw. And of course, Drew he played everything in the backfield on his tippy toes. He learned how to literally play quarterback on his tiptoes so he could get an extra 2 inches to be able to see down the field. I don't know if a lot of people know that or not. Anyway, I thought this was fascinating. The Russell Wilson in New York is going to be interesting because I want to see Jackson Dart. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.